Good evening and thank you for joining us to Channel 6 Scoreboard, My Fountain Online Special Edition. I'm your host, Courtney Howard, and I'm here with AJ Harper and Lee Hogan. Now let's start talking about some Bears basketball. Now, Coach Corliss, it's his third season in. What are you guys expecting to see some key players and key elements going into this upcoming season?
Number one, LaQuentin Miles. He just named first team All SLC to preseason All SLC, so he's going to be key to this team. I mean, Corliss even said in that soundbite that Q is Q. That's a saying that the team has. So he's going to be key to this team this year. Jarvis Garner finished last year really strongly, and Corliss also talked about that the other day. He finished really strongly, and he thinks he's poised for a breakout season. So I think those are two players coming back that will be key to this team. And he also talked about Deshaun McClure. I guess the defensive mindset anyways is what Corliss was looking for, so that'll be an interesting thing to watch for, see if how big a role Deshaun McClure plays. Coach Williamson obviously thinks he's going to be one, but I think that coming back it's going to be LaQuentin Miles and Jarvis Garner that really take this team this year.
Yeah, I mean, Jarvis Garner, in my opinion, had a semi-breakout year last year.
Yeah.
You know, he sort of took over towards the end of the year and was playing better ball than anybody else on that team, including Miles. And Miles is supremely talented, but the problem is you don't really know whether he's going to bring it, you know. He'll come to some games and he'll be fired up and he'll have a great game, but you don't see it as consistently. And you saw last year it sort of tapered off a little bit. He did have a couple of injuries that sort of, I guess, you know, some speed bumps, but I'm interested to see if LaQuentin Miles comes back and plays as well as he can play, and we all know he can play. Jarvis Garner hit a couple of big shots last year and did start to lead this team, but the thing that I'm worried about is they're missing the point guard. You know, they've got LaQuentin Miles as a shooting guard, small forward type. Jarvis Garner is the same sort of, you know, Miles is more of a driver. He drives to the basket. Garner likes to shoot a lot more, but either way, they're more bigger guards. If these two are gonna have breakout years, the point guard situation is gonna be the key. So I don't know who's gonna be the breakout, but I think that for this team to operate and to be successful and to get LaQuentin Miles and Jarvis Garner going, then whoever's starting or whoever's playing at point guard this season is gonna be the reason for it.
What are some improvements from last season to this season that you guys are really hoping to see with this team?
I hope to see a little bit more offensive skill, honestly. I mean, this team is very well coached defensively. They have a good system, and they play pretty hard defensively. But at times last year, there was just a lot of, you know, questionable offense. It was very stagnant. They weren't running the plays. Or many plays that were being successful anyways. There was a lot of just dribbling the ball around for 10 or 12 seconds and then shooting, you know, and never actually passing the ball. Or they just continue to pass around the perimeter and never find anything. And so, you know, at some point there's going to have to be penetration, kick out to the three. You're going to have to find out who your shooters, the people, who your slashers are, and your big men. And that's going to be a big thing is post offense, you know, down on the post, and then just creating with the players doing what they can, you know, to suit their offensive skill set. And it's got to improve, or, you know, you can be as good as you want defensively, but you've got to score enough points to beat the other team, and that's what this team's going to struggle with.
Yeah, and I talked to Corliss about the defense, and he really thought that the defense would be better this year, or even better than it was last year. He thought they'd really bought into the system and understand the system of the full court pressure and also half court. I think one of the really good things for this team this year is they finally have some experience coming back, and some good experience. I mean, not last year was definitely a struggle, as was Corliss's first year, but these guys have been here for a couple of years. They understand the coach now, understand his scheme. So when you talk about Anthony Borden, Jordan Harks, Jarvis Garner, and LaQuentin Miles, and Robert Crawford, there's a lot of guys coming back that know this system, know what's expected of them this year. So I think that's going to be key this year. So I think this team will be able to show improvement in the win column, which is the most important thing. And I think it's going to be because they finally have that experience coming back this season.
Okay, well, thank you, AJ, and thank you, Lee, and thank you guys, the viewer. I'm Courtney Howard, and this is Channel 6 Scoreboard, My Fountain Online Special Edition.